Welcome to the channel. With this video, we are starting a brand new video series on Quantower trading platform. The main purpose of this video is to introduce a beginner to the Quantower trading platform. You can think of this video as a demo of Quantower. So now the first thing is, what is Quantower? Quantower is a desktop-based multi-asset stock market analysis and trading platform. By using Quantower, you can analyze the market, and also you will be able to trade from Quantower by using whatever the broker account that you have. For analyzing the market, we can find different types of chart options and indicators in Quantower. We have the chart options like Renko, point and figure, Kagi, order flow, volume profile, market profile, and also we can find a lot of indicators available in Quantower. Since Quantower is a desktop application, you have to download and install it in your computer, and then you have to log into your Quantower account in that desktop application. So what I have done is, I have made a separate video explaining how you can create an account in Quantower, how you can download and install the desktop application, and how you can log into your account. If you have not installed Quantower and don't have an account in Quantower, then watch that video. Link will be available in the description box. After watching that video, after installing the application, you can continue with this video. Now, when you open up the Quantower for the first time, you will see an interface like this. It will open up a default template, and you will see some watchlist, some charts, and some other panels in Quantower. In this video series, we will see how we can create our own template and how we can organize the charts depending on our needs. So here, what we do is, we will talk about all these parts separately, one by one. And in the top section, what you see is called as the control panel, because most of the controls of Quantower trading platform can be found here. And after that, the remaining area is highly customizable. You can place whatever the panel that you want in whatever the way you want and organize that here. For example, you can have a simple candlestick chart, or an order flow chart, or a volume profile chart, or a market profile chart. You can have the option analytics, you can have the watch list. All these things can be organized the way you want. So here, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to close this template by clicking on this, and it says close bind. I will say yes. And then we will talk about this top section, which is called as the control panel. So the first thing that we find here is this icon of Quantower. If you click on that, it will open up a small side panel, and from here we can open up some templates. Then we have the options of opening up the charts, option analytics, and other panels. We will talk about all of them later. And then we have the other panels related to trading, portfolio, etc. So we will talk about them later in the video series. Now here in the bottom of this side panel, we can find the about. If we click on that, it will open up a small about window. Here we can find the Quantower version that is installed in the computer. And also, if there is any new update available, that is also highlighted in here. You will be able to update your application to the new version. And here we also have the option of going back to a previous version. We have this rollback option in here. Once you click on that, we will be able to select a previous version. For some reason, if you want to go back, then you can go back to that previous version. So here, right now, the version that I have installed in the computer is up to date. So we will not do anything in here. We will close this. Now, close to this Quantower logo, we can find a section, and this section is called as favorites. What we can do is, we can have the shortcut to our favorite panels right here. The advantage of this is, you will be able to open up that panel very quickly. We can customize this favorites panel. So we can have whatever the panel that we want, we can place that in here as the favorites. For example, this CHT stands for chart. If I click on that, it will open up the chart panel with the default symbol, which is Nifty 50. We can change that also. So it will open up the chart. Similarly, here this TPO is a market profile panel. The panel opens up with the market profile chart. For example, it looks like this. I will close this, and I will close this also. So here we can customize this panel. For example, if I click on this Quantower logo here, this side panel opens and we have the templates in here. If I take the cursor on any of these templates, then I can see a star in here. So if I click on this star, then that particular template will appear here in this favorites section. We can add any of this option to this favorites section so that we can easily access that. If you want to remove it from this favorites panel, then just right click and then you will find unpin from toolbar. Just click on that. It will disappear from the favorites panel. So this is about the favorites panel, which we can customize the way we want. The next section is called as the ticker tape. Here we can have a bunch of instruments whose values will be updated in real time. If you have the habit of looking at certain instruments, then you can add them to this ticker tape section. For example, here I have Nifty 50, Nifty Bank, and Nifty Fin Service and India Wex. So all these instruments will be updated in real time. We can customize this section. If you want, we can add more symbols or more instruments in here, and also we will be able to remove these instruments. For example, here if we right click, then we can find edit ticker tape. If we click on that, then we can find item customizer. Here we can find the instruments that are already added. If you want to remove them, just click on this delete icon, it will remove them. If you want to add any symbol, just click on this add symbol, and then you can search for the symbol. For example, here I will search for Nifty -I, and then I will scroll down and I will select Nifty Futures continuous contract. I will double click on that. It will be added to the list. Then I can click on apply, and now you guys can see Nifty Futures continuous contract is added to this list. So here what you can do is you can customize this. And after that, we can find an icon which is for locking the trading activity. So right now it is unlocked. That means if I connect to a broker account, then I will be able to place trades from Quantower. If I don't want to take any trades, then I can click on this and it says trading is locked. That means that just by mistake also, just by random clicks also, I will not place any trades. And after that, we can find this workspace icon. By clicking on that, we can find the workspace. We have the option of renaming and creating the new workspaces. Here right now, we are in the default workspace. And after that, we have the true data connection displayed in here. Here it will display the data providers that we are connected to. For example, if you're connected to a broker, then also it will be listed in here. For example, if I click on this, then it opens up this window where we can find all the connection options. For example, right now I am connected to the True Data Plus, and that's why it says True Data in here. We can also find other brokers listed in here. For example, like IIFL, Fires, 5paisa, Dhan, and then Zerodha will be added soon depending on when you're watching this video. And all these brokers, we can connect to them. We can log into the account, and once we connect to a broker, we will be able to place trades from Quantower. So now if I click on this True Data, then you guys can see I am connected. If I want to disconnect, then I can click on this disconnect. I will be disconnected from True Data. And after that, we can find this notification icon. If you click on that, if any notification is there, then it will be listed in here. And then we have this settings icon. If we click on that, it opens up the general settings window, and here we can find most of the options to customize in Quantower. We will talk about that in just a minute. And then we can find the clock here. For example, right now it is displaying the local time. If I click on this, then I can find a UTC time also. If I want, I can select that, and that time will be displayed in here. And here one thing is, if for some reason your system clock is not in sync with the internet time, then it will display a small icon in here highlighting that time is not in sync. At that time you have to set your system time properly, and once you do that, that notification will disappear. And after that we can find the help icon in here. If we click on that, we can find the support from Quantower, Telegram, WhatsApp, YouTube videos and all these things. If I click on this, then their support page will open. And after that we can find this user icon. This is about our user account. If I click on that, then I can find the username, and I have the option of managing my account and logging out. And here if I click on this manage, then it will open up the Quantower website. I will be able to log into my Quantower account, and I can see the subscriptions that I have. I can, if I want, I can take any new subscriptions. I can extend the subscriptions and all those things. Then we have the logout button, which will obviously log out from our account. And then we can find the subscriptions that we have taken. Those are listed in here. And after that we can find a bunch of icons in here. This icon, which looks like a refresh, is about the new update. If any new updates are available, then this icon will be highlighted. By looking at that, you will come to know that, okay, a new version is available, and then if you want, you can update to that. So this icon is about algo trading. You can connect to Visual Studio, and you will be able to develop algos and all. So at that time, this icon will be highlighted. And then we have some other icons like here, for example, this cart, which will display, once you place orders and all. So here, this is pretty much about this control center in Quantower. Now the thing is, you can customize this control center also. For example, if I right click here, then I have the option of view, and you can see that all these options are checked. If I uncheck them, then these sections will disappear. For example, if I don't want the favorites panel, I can uncheck this. You can see the favorites panel is gone. Similarly, if I don't want the ticker tape, I can uncheck this. That is also gone. Similarly, if I don't want to see the log trading, workspace or any of this, then I can uncheck them and they will not be displayed in here. So right now I will check this thing because I want to see them in here. So you can customize all the things. The best thing about Quantower is the customization option. If you can think about a workspace layout, then you will be able to implement that. Okay, right now let us see how we can open up a template in here. So what we do is we will open up a already created template. I will click on this Quantower icon, and then I can see that in template section we have a lot of templates. If you want, we can search for the templates. For example, if I say true data, then that template will be shown here depending on the search term. And also we will be able to add custom templates that we are going to create. We will be able to create our custom templates, and they also will appear in here. Right now what I will do is I will click on this true data template and open it up. So, and the reason why I opened that is, right now I am connected to the true data, and that's why, I just opened that template. So right now you guys can see, the way you can customize the, your workspace. Right now here, if you look at this template, then we have a watchlist in here. So in this watchlist, we have equity and futures section, and then we can find option analytics. So here Nifty Bank is there. If you want, you can have the Nifty 50 Nifty option chain also. And then we can find the HDFC Bank chart, and then we have the option watchlist. We will talk about that later. And then we have the market profile or TPO chart here, and then we have the order flow chart in here. Not only these many charts, you will be able to add more number of charts, more number of panels depending on your need, and you can group them the way you want. So now what I want to do is I want to talk about this settings icon or general settings. I will click on this and the general settings window will open. The first option is general, and here we can see the option to change the theme. Right now dark autumn is selected. If I click on this, I have other options also. For example, we have some dark themes and we have some light themes. If I click on this default, you can see theme has changed. Then if I go to dark forest, theme has again changed. I can go to dark gold, a new theme, and then we have grayscale, a light theme, and then we have light forest and light gold and light water. So depending on your preference, you can use the theme, and also you have some other option of customizing the colors also. We will talk about that later. Personally, I use dark theme all the time, so that's why I will go with the dark autumn, and again the dark theme is back. The next thing is default symbol, and here Nifty 50 is by default present. What it means is if we open up a new panel, then that panel will be opened with this particular symbol. So if you remember in this video, when we opened up a new chart panel, we saw that it opened Nifty 50 chart. The reason for that is Nifty 50 is the default symbol. If you want, you can change that. For example, here we can search for Nifty Bank and we can add that here. So now if we open up a new chart, Nifty Bank will be the default symbol. For example, if I click on this chart, now you guys can see Nifty Bank chart has been opened. So now the default symbol is Nifty Bank. I will close that. And then we have the default account. If you are logged into multiple broker accounts, then you can set one account as a default account. So that option is here. And then we have the data latency limit in milliseconds. This is when, if there is any delay in data, then you can specify this latency. As a beginner, you don't have to worry about this. And then we have the autosave settings. For every 5 minutes, if you make any drawings and all these things, then they will be saved automatically. Then we have the backup historical symbol cache. That option is checked. And then display quantity in lots. This is one important setting that is checked in here. For example, here we have the order flow chart in here, and this is of Nifty futures, and the numbers that you see here in this chart are in lots. So the volume is divided by the lot size, and the Quantower will do this automatically, so that you don't have to remember the lot size for different instruments. So once you check this option, all the numbers that are displayed will be in lots. So after that, we have this unload inactive workspaces. So if we have multiple workspaces set up, then obviously when you open up the workspace, when it contains many charts, it will take up the system memory, it will take up computer resources. So this option will make sure that if any other workspaces are open and they are not used, then they will be unloaded from the memory, so that less resources of your computer is used and you will get the better performance. And then we have the option of hiding the part of account name. Again, if you're connected to the broker account, then if you don't want to display your complete name, then you can you can check this. Then we have the use beta version, which is about whether you want to use the latest from Quantower or not. Generally, beta versions contain some bugs. So if you uncheck this, then you will get only stable versions, which will contain less bugs. Depending on your choice of whether you want to use beta version or not, you can check this option. Then we have this control center. After this general, again we can see the panels or the sections that we want to enable or not. All these options are here. Then we have sounds. When something happens, the sound will be played. So you can see that. For example, I can play some of the sounds in here. So if you want, you can change the sounds also. And then we have the confirmations and warnings. So here, for example, if you place any order, you want a confirmation message, then you can check this option. Similarly, if you close the application, if you want the program to ask whether you want to close the application or not, that can be customized in here. And similarly for other actions also, whether you want a confirmation message or not, that can be set in here. Then we have time zone settings. So here we can select the time zone that we want. Then we have XLRTT, by using which if you want, you can export the data to Excel and all. And then we have Algo in here. We have the socket port. By using this port number, we can connect to the Quantower from external applications. And then you can use the Visual Studio for debugging and developing the algos and all. That option is available in here. Then we have messengers. Here we have the option of getting the Telegram updates. If you want, you can set that up here. Then we have hotkeys, which is about setting up the shortcut keys to do some particular action. Already some shortcut keys are present. If you want, you can add more shortcut keys. I will make a separate video explaining how you can use this. And then we have the trading protection. So here, if the application is inactive, if you're not using the application for 15 minutes, then the trading will be locked. You will not be able to place any trades. For example, if you leave the application and if you go out for some reason, and Quantower will be open, so by mistake, if someone comes in and if they place any trades from your account, in order to avoid that, this feature is here. If there is any inactivity for 15 minutes, then you will not be able to place any trades. You can set up in here for this. Then we have orders limitation. For example, you can enable this, and here you will be able to limit the number of orders for some time period. For example, for 1 second, you can limit 10 orders or something like that. Depending on your need, you can set this up. So this is about the general settings option in here, where we can see some of the settings and customization options.